Hello mate, today I'm talking about 4 wake-up call moments that instantly change a nice guy. If a man is walking around with nice guy syndrome, which is putting everyone else's needs before his own, he lives for other people at the expense of himself. There are 4 experiences that a guy like this will often go through in his life. A couple of these that I'm going to talk to you about today I've actually been through myself. So I've got personal experience. But these wake-up call moments are from, as I mentioned, not just my own life, but also the lives of my clients that I've been working with over the last few years. And if this is your first time on the channel, mate, my name is Oliver, and I help men live life on their own terms. What's the first experience? What's the first wake-up call? I had this wake-up call, and I'm calling this, I did everything right, and she left anyway, right? I did everything right, I did everything I was told to, I was a good guy, I was nice, I was caring, I was compassionate, I was empathetic. I was often an emotional punching bag. I didn't assert my own needs too much because I didn't want to be domineering. You know, I was told that masculinity is in some way toxic, so I took that on board. So I was this nice, abdicating, good boy. And then what happened? Well, with me, she just cheated on me. But what often happens with other guys that I've worked with is if they don't cheat, she'll either leave or she'll disrespect him, ultimately lead into a relationship that is not enjoyable, that is not fulfilling. This is the opposite of what works. And when he realizes this, he makes a very powerful shift. And that powerful shift is he stops believing that to be in a relationship means I have to be everything she wants me to be. He realizes this is unsustainable, so he starts living for himself. He starts living to please himself and invite her along for the ride. He starts realizing that a relationship should be reciprocal, not just him giving at the expense of himself. So he starts living for himself to please himself, and he actually realizes something mind-blowing, which is when he starts living to please himself, oftentimes she's more enthusiastic about pleasing him as well. The second wake-up call is what I'm titling, I was a kind person and other people took advantage. For example, I used to be a hippie. I used to listen to Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. I used to wear hippie clothes. I used to live in London around this time. I was the nicest person you've ever met in your life. Peace and love. I even spoke with a very soft voice. One day, I'm walking around the centre of London. I spot a guy, right? There's a guy I think he was from Bangladesh, and he was stood just outside the train station talking to people and stuff, and he sees me and he calls me over, and I walk over. I'm just walking around smiling, you know, constantly, just softly all over the place. Walk over, straight away he starts telling me about this orphanage that he's raising money for, okay? And then he asks me for £5. I didn't have any money on me at the time, so I said, no, sorry, I can't give you any money. And then he engages me with this very kind of strange energy, right? He locks in on me. He looks at me very strongly, like he's kind of hypnotizing me in some very strange way. And he says, it's okay. We can go to the ATM in the train station. He must have realized there was no ability in me to say no. There was no way I was going to say no to anything this guy said, more or less. Because I was a wimp, basically. Fundamentally, I was a wimp. So I said, okay, let's go to the ATM then. So he walks me to the ATM in the train station, right? And he waits as I put my card in. I'm about to take out some money. He says, you should make it 20. You should make it £20. So then I get £20 out of the ATM. I give him £20. And then he says, okay, you need your necklace. You need to give me your necklace. I give him my necklace. I take my necklace off and give it to him. And then what does he say? And then he says, your headphones. You can give me your headphones now. I had a big pair of expensive headphones. That was the cut-off point. I said, I can't give you my headphones, man. And he says, no problem. And he walks away. And I remember being stood in the train station, just thinking, what the hell just happened? In that moment, that was my wake-up call. See, I was the nicest person on the face of the planet. I would never have done that to anybody. I would never have manipulated anybody to try and extract money from them like that. but that doesn't mean other people wouldn't. And in that moment, I realized that being nice does not equal other people being nice to you. You've got to understand this. There are assholes in the world, and to be a good man, to live well in this life, does not mean being harmless. To be a good man in this life means having a set of teeth. It means being assertive. It means being able to say no. It means being able to tell someone to back off. When a man finally realizes this, he starts to realize that his anger, when harnessed, when integrated effectively, is not a negative thing. It's actually beautiful, it's regenerative, it's protective, it's positive. And that's what I realized over the following few years after integrating my shadow, right? My aggressive side after that experience. The third wake-up call a lot of men go through, I've experienced this a lot with my coaching clients, and it's called, I tried my hardest at work and I got overlooked. This is the belief that your efforts, right, should speak for themselves. If you're working your ass off, other people should respect you at work, other people should value you, other people should give you a raise because you deserve it, etc. Now, this is often the opposite of what works. And when a man finally realizes this, when he's often been fired, or when he's been overlooked for a new person at the company who has way less experience but is just more extroverted than him. Basically, the fundamental thing to realize here is your needs, right? What you need and what you want in life is not going to be given to you on a silver platter. You have to go out there and you have to say, I am going to ask for this thing. If I want a raise, I'm not going to sit there and work and hope someone notices me. I'm actually going to vocalize it and say, hey, listen, I'm working for this raise right now. I'm making it very clear that this is what I'm going for. I want to earn more money. Or if it's not in a sort of work context, it's like setting goals in your personal life. It's like, I'm going for this income goal. A nice guy's script is reactive to life. It's just sort of passive. It's sitting there and hoping that his niceness will award him all the things he wants in life. It's the opposite of what works. People won't give you what you want in life. You have to go out there and make it happen for yourself. And the final one I want to mention is number 4, which is, I've always been a gentleman, but women don't seem to pick me. Similar to the first one, but this is more about the dating context of like attracting women. We're told you should be a nice guy. You should be a nice guy. Women love nice guys, right? Well, this isn't what a lot of us tend to notice. Why is it that a lot of women end up with complete assholes? Why is it that when you're a nice guy, women don't seem to emotionally respond to it? Well, when you've not been attracting the kind of women that you like for a long enough time frame, or you've gone through a soul destroying dry spell for long enough, or whatever, you start reflecting, a man starts reflecting, he starts realizing, hang on a minute, what is it about me that's not attracting women? And then through this realization, when you go on the process and you start realizing that women like a guy with an edge, right? Women like a guy they can feel safe with. And that safety doesn't always just come from being nice and harmless, right? She likes to feel that you could protect her. She also likes to feel and be with a man who sparks a kind of emotion, not an emotional roller coaster, because that can get toxic, but around a nice guy's like vanilla ice cream. He's just kind of this middle ground. He's not really polarizing. He's not offensive, but he's also not really saying anything that's really, you know, it's like he lacks a kind of life force energy and he's kind of just shuffling around. Recently, actually, I gave a guy a challenge to start saying some pretty edgy, controversial opinions on a date and teasing. And I basically said to him, if it scares you to say, if you're scared of her reaction on this next date, I'm going to challenge you to say it. And he started saying it. And guess what? He was making out like crazy on this most recent date he went on. And I'm like, and he was surprised by it, like, well, hang on a minute, she didn't react negatively, she reacted positively. And I said, yes, mate, because you have to realize at a certain point, it's possible and actually fairly common to piss a woman off and turn her on at the same time. It's crazy. And nice guys will never experience that. Pop a comment down below and let me know, mate. Let me know, which of these wake-up calls have you experienced? So pop a comment down below, let me know. I'm currently, by the way, just as a side note for those that give a shit, I'm in Malta right now. I'm gonna see if I can include a little bit of footage in the videos just to give you something nice to look at. But mate, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video, all right? Stay courageous.